Om Vakratunda Mahakaya Surya Koti Samaprabha Nirvignam Kurame Deva Sarvakareshu Sarvada Shri Ganeshaya Namaha. Om Sarvamangala Mangale Shive Sarvartha Sadike Sharanitrambake Gauri Narayani Namostute Ya Devi Sarvabhuteshu Mahalakshmi Rupena Samstita Namastasya 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 Namo Namaha. Om Shri Guru Bhyo Namah Gurur Brahma Gurur Vishnu Gurur Devo Maheshwara Gurur Sakshat Param Brahma Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha. Om Trambakam Yajamahe Sugandim Pushti Vardhanam Urvarkam Iva Bandhanan Mrityor Mukshyam Amritat. Om Namah Shivaya 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 Namah Shivaya. Om Namah Shivaya Namah Shivaya Namah Shivaya Namah Shivaya Namah Shivaya Namah Shivaya Namah Shivaya. Om Namah Shivaya Namah Shivaya Namah Shivaya Namah Shivaya Namah Shivaya Namah Shivaya Namah Shivaya. Om Namah Shivaya Namah Shivaya Namah Shivaya Namah Shivaya Namah Shivaya. Om Gunatito Aksharam Brahma Bhagavan Purushottamah Jano Janannidam Satyam Muchyate Bhava Bandhanat. Om Bhagavate Shri Swami Narayana Namaha. Om Shri Lakshmi Narayana Namaha. Om Shri Radha Krishna Namaha. Om Shri Umameshwara Swami Namo Namaha. Om Namo Hanumate Bhayabanjanaya Sukham Kuru Hat Swaha. Shri Hanumate Namaha. Welcome to Nitya Satsang. Today is the 10th of December 2022. We are continuing our exploration of VIVEKCHUDAMANI, and along those lines we have started our discussion regarding the chakras. What are these chakras? What is Kundalini? What are the nadis? And what is the significance of it? And how is it to be practiced in our life? So first of all, I want to offer my prostrations and Danvat Pranam to all the great sages of the past, present, future, and to the Supreme Paramatma for blessings. Now with that, the existence of the chakra system is a discovery of the rishis in ancient times. And even today, from ancient times to today, this is a continual discovery. This is not a matter of imagination. It is not something which someone is just fantasizing about. No. It is a meditative realization. So last time, day before yesterday, we started talking about Muladhara Chakra. So remember, the word chakra means spinning wheel, spinning vortex. These chakras, all 7 of them, are spinning vortices. They have different colors, different petals, but they are lit. They are spinning actually. And they have all kinds of energy within them. They also have a great deal of power inside of them. So that power is Kundalini. The Kundalini is the dormant power given by Paramatma and placed inside our system in the subtle body. The Sukshma Sharira. It connects with the Sukshma Sharira mostly. And that power is responsible for giving us the experience of life. So our brain, our mind, our senses, our physical body, the fields of biological sciences, biochemistry, these things that are known, they study certain aspect. But beyond all of that is this Kundalini Shakti. It is this great internal power that is residing, and it is dormant. It is raw. It is a pure energy only. It is an undifferentiated, pure energy. Total energy. That's what it is. Now, someone might ask the question, why is it even there? What is it and why is it there? So, the most straightforward answer to that is that the Jivatma is within Maya, is within the Mahamaya from Anadi Kal, from time immemorial. It depends on which Tattvagnan you go to, but based on the Ramanujacharya Tattvagnan and some of the more dualistic Tattvagnan, the Mahamaya and the Paramatma are separate in the sense that the Mahamaya is a power of God and the Jivatma are infinite in number within Mahamaya. This is one understanding. Another understanding is a little bit different about this, more on Shankaracharya ji's approach, that there's only the one Brahman that appears as the many, Jivatma and everything else. But there's no different Jivatma. Like for example, Sachin says there's one, Sachin has Jivatma. Sachin has Atma, somebody else has another Atma, the frog has an Atma, the deer has an Atma, the tree has an Atma. As far as the Shankaracharyaji's teaching would be concerned, that is not the case. Shankaracharyaji would not say there are different souls. But there are a lot of objections to that also. If you say that one person got moksha, then how is it that one gets moksha, the others don't get moksha? How is it that there's binding also? Whatever it may be, this is another more intricate subject. But the fact is that we, in our experience, we feel we are separate from everybody else. We have a sense of separation. So the Jivatma, the individualized Jivatma does exist. Even Shankaracharya ji has accepted the existence of Jiva, the individualized being, even though he considers it as an illusion. It does exist. Ramanujacharya doesn't consider it as an illusion. The Jivatma are separate, infinite in number. And it is not that the God has become the Jivatma. So as per Vishishtadvaita and all the other Bhakti Sampradaya teachings, the Bhagavan doesn't become Jivatma and gets Agnani and trapped into Maya. That's the teaching in Advaita Vedanta. In Advaita Vedanta, the basic teaching is that Bhagavan itself has gotten into ignorance and trapped in Maya. Which is not really, they wouldn't admit to that, but that's what they're saying essentially. The Advaitic teachers, they're saying there's only one. Well, if there's only one, then the diversity is there. There's all of this pain and suffering. That means that same Brahman is only trapped inside pain and suffering, logically. So this argument is made against Shankaracharya ji by Ramanujacharya ji in Sri Bhasyam, using the same verses. So it's not an argument, but it is a way to understand the reality of the world. Now Shankaracharya ji is speaking about this, that it's an illusion and all and whatnot, from the higher consciousness, only from that Brahmic state. That's why he's saying that there's only the one Brahman. In Vachanamrut, this debate is very easily solved. This debate has been going on for thousands of years. But Shriji Maharaj, Bhagwan Shri Swaminarayan, he ended this debate actually in Vachanamrut. Because it's a matter of where you are in your stage of realization. If you're at the Shankaracharya stage, you say everything is Brahman. No, that's true. So that is also true. And if you're at the Savikalpa stage, you see the Maya, you see the multiplicity, plurality, that also has reality. So the point is that even in Vedanta, they will not say that the Brahman has gotten trapped in Maya. The Brahman is always beyond Maya. The Maya is a power of the Brahman, and Brahman is dreaming itself as the many in Maya. This is the teaching. Now, the reason I'm pointing some of this background, because the question of Kundalini comes into play, the question of suffering and pain and difficulties and energy and in the individuality. We have individuality. We sense that this is Sachin, this is not Sachin, this is somebody else, this is somebody else. If it's all one, then why do we have this experience of individuality? Where did it come from? So Advaita Vedanta says that's the power of Maya. It's a power of Maya that is Brahman's own power that is creating the diversity. And that power is present as Kundalini as the individualized experience. But that would still mean that the Brahman has gotten entrapped inside Maya, in its own power. Is that possible? One has to awaken out of Maya to realize this. Once you have awakened out of Maya, there is nothing like Maya actually. That's the interesting part. So then that goes back to Vedanta again. In Vachanamrut also, Bhagwan Swaminarayan, he mentioned it so clearly. He said that once you are awakened out of Maya, in Gujarati he said in Gujarati, Vachma kaik Brahm jau. Like something came in between, but that has no reality. The reality is the Atma Tattva. Atma, Parvat, that reality. So the Maya, does it exist? It exists as long as we are not awakened. Once we are awakened, meaning the awakening of the Kundalini and Jagruti, awakening of the mind, the brain, the realization of the Atma, which is where this all leads to, then there is nothing like Maya. So this is a matter of Anubhav. This is not a matter of debate. You can keep debating scriptures and different positions for years. People have been doing that. It is called Shastrarth. Shastrarth ka meaning ye hai, these are debates that are going on. They try to convince each other. Does it have any real meaning? No, it has absolutely no meaning whatsoever. Not in terms of realization. One person is saying that the Brahman is real, somebody else is saying this is not there, somebody else is saying that the material world is. You can have so many debates. At the end of the day, people are still trapped in this material world with Kam, Krodh, Lobh, Asha, Trushna, Irsha, Ahankar, same thing. That realization ek alag baat hai. Debate is Shastrarth. And they try to convince each other and try to win the debate. That is not realization of any kind. Even in the philosophy journals we find this. People are arguing in different positions and all that. They're arguing with each other, trying to convince each other. When one is enlightened, there's no need to convince anybody of anything. One is living in that. The presence of the spiritual masters speaks. Not that they speak to convince somebody. That's the big difference. That's what Shankaracharya ji is saying. He's using the word Brahmavid. Remember in this verse 65, we were looking at one who is the knower of Brahman, then the Brahman speaks. That enlightenment speaks. What we are doing is contemplating. That's fine. Contemplation, seeing things from as many perspectives, fine. One may have a certain viewpoint that also has its purpose. But simply to convince somebody to say that I am right and you're wrong, that is an ego-driven activity. वो तो एक अहंकार की प्रक्रिया है. That's not spirituality of any kind. So those kinds of debates and to thrash somebody else and to all that kind of stuff that goes on, that is not an open-minded exploration of the truth. So when we talk about energy awakening, real energy awakening has everything to do with the opening of the mind. And as long as the mind is not open, the trouble is there. Then one is stuck, trapped in different ways. And this is what the Kundalini does. Kundalini opens the mind. That's the whole point. That the Sahasrara Chakra is 1,000-petal lotus. What is that? 1,000-petal means, symbolically it means that you're seeing things from 1,000 different angles. It has that meaning. But it also means that there is a great power that is opening, and once that opens, there is the complete realization. There is the opening into the infinite consciousness. Then where's the issue of debating or aisa kuch nahi hai? But even then, when the great acharyas, they come into the world, they are still giving their perspectives of enlightenment. They're doing that based on their realization. Their realization may not be the same. So when the Sahasrara Chakra opens, what you see or what is realized in there may differ from Acharya to Acharya. Somebody might say there's Bhagwan there, there's Golok there is only the Brahman there is some other kind of place there. Whatever it is a matter of your own anubhav, right? So Kundalini is with us. It's raw power. It is responsible for giving the Jivatma the experience it is looking for. The experience we are wanting is in the causal body, Karana Sharira. Sachin wants something to happen. Sachin has individualized desires. Right? Individualized desires, our own desires. So to fulfill those desires, we talked about it before, those desires can be fulfilled by the awakening of this power, definitely. And as those desires get fulfilled, then there is a realization that the desires come and go. So there are innumerable desires that show up, ichha, that show up again and again and again. And one can experience the fulfillment of those desires in this world. It's possible. This is why the awareness that we have so much energy that is residing, it gets dormantly awakened. It gets awakened within the causal and subtle body. So the desires we have, it is an opportunity to fulfill them through that energy awakening. Now, if we are wanting ultimate moksha, atyantika dukha nivritti, you're wanting the final liberation, then there is one desire only, and that is for Bhagavad Prasannata, Bhagwan ki Prasannata. No other desire than that. If there's any other desire, that will pull one immediately below Ajna Chakra. So if there is even desire for anything other than Bhagavad Prasannata, Prasannata of Paramatma, Bhagwan ki Prasannata, Bhagwan ne prasanna karva in Gujarati. Other than that, anything, absolutely anything, will pull one immediately below Ajna Chakra. This is the real truth of Kundalini awakening and of Jagruti. Because below Ajna Chakra is all of the dualities. Ajna Chakra is 2-petal lotus. Ham, Ksham, these are the two beach mantras of the Ajna Chakra. So, and Namah Shivaya mantra is an activator. The Bhagwan Shankar ka swarup hai inside the Ajna Chakra itself. So, it is possible to bypass all the other chakras and meditate only on the Ajna Chakra. You don't have to worry about meditating on all the other chakras at all. You can bypass them all. Simply, if you're looking for liberation, if you're not looking for liberation and just other things are there, there's lots of other mantras and so many things are available. But for moksha, it's possible to start the journey at Ajna Chakra and then go. And then if the Ajna Chakra your focus is there, the other chakras get into alignment automatically. Everything else gets taken care of. This is the theory. This is at least the theory. Now, that doesn't mean you don't do other mantras. You can do everything. It's no problem. And there are lots of ways of clearing all those blockages. So there are long-term, long ways that gurus have shown. And there is a direct shortcut way. That is Namah Shivaya mantra. And stay with the Ajna Chakra. Bhagwan ke jo guru hai, sant hai, unke charanon mein namaskar karna, Hanuman ji ko namaskar karna. With the Shiv Parivar, and start meditating with your eyes closed on the Ajna Chakra. Take Namah Shivaya mantra, Namah Shivaya, Namah Shivaya, Namah Shivaya, Namah Shivaya, and looks at the center. Right in the center there's a blank space there, and in that blank space is the Ajna Chakra. That's where it is. And the more you meditate on that, with bhakti bhav, with ananda, with letting everything go at the feet of God, the Kundalini jumps straight from the Muladhara to the Ajna Chakra. It opens the Ajna Chakra. And once that is open, it always remains open. Even if it seems to close, that consciousness is always there. So you can always go back to it. Then if we through our own Ajnan, we drop below, that's a different matter. So this is how Kundalini works. This is a very extensive science. You could spend years trying to awaken this energy and do different asanas and different pranayamas, and all kinds of very in-depth sadhanas are there. But the most straightforward, direct sadhana is Namah Shivaya mantra. Take the mala, Namah Shivaya, and continue Namah Shivaya mantra with bhakti bhav, and that will realign the system. Automatically it will realign everything. And from that, in that alignment, bhajan, kirtan, sadhana, bhakti, letting go of all of the negativities from the heart, letting all that go, that is of most relevance. Then one enjoys sadhana. You see? So somebody will ask, wait a minute, now what about people who have really strong desires for Rajoguni? Most of the people in this sansar have Rajasic desire, 90%, right? They want a lot of money, they want a lot of sexual gratification, they want positions, they want name, fame, they want all these things. What about that? Does meditating on Ajna Chakra open those things too? Sure, absolutely. No doubt. If that's what you're wanting, you said, I want those things, you do the sadhana, you do that, and then that kind of fruit is generated because that is your desire. हमारे अंतःकरण में किस प्रकार का संकल्प है? This is the key point. संकल्प शक्ति, संकल्प में शक्ति है, and संकल्प activates शक्ति, and not only that शक्ति creates the experiences around us that we are wanting to experience. That is the power of the chakra. So the chakras are responsible for giving the jivatma through the karana sharira the anubhav that the jivatma, jiv tattva is looking for because of its individualized desires. Yehi chakra ka science hai. This is the essence of the chakra science as far as why they're there. Now, yogis who awaken, they do the different. Either they do the chakra mantras, different mantras are there, or let's just say we start with Namah Shivaya mantra, say Om Shri Ganeshaya Namaha, and then start doing the Namah Shivaya mantra. That will open as sadhana increases. The other chakras will appear also. Now the yogis, what they have done in the ancient times, and probably today also those who are more established, they have a lot of curiosity as to what is inside those chakras. So this is where those chakras are also access points. So the yogi can sit in dhyan, and the consciousness, the psychological consciousness, the jivatma, it's an awareness where the chakra opens. You are seeing the chakra. So if you are seeing the chakra, who is you that is seeing the chakra? That is Atma. So Atma that is there is seeing the chakra. In Vachanamrut Garada Pratham number 49, Ogan Pachas nu Vachanamrut, Pratham 49. Amazing statement is there. Maharaj stated inside there that if you see these 6 chakras, Shat Chakra, up to Ajna Chakra, if you see them, he says that is not Antardrishti, that is Bahya Drishti. What a statement that is. Bahya Drishti means you are still seeing them. That means you have not realized the Atma. It is an intermediate opening. The chakra system, the 72,000 nadis, the spiritual nerves, this is an intermediate opening before the Atma Sakshatkar occurs, Atmic realization. So if you see the chakra, any chakra, there are different chakras in dhyan. Again, those chakras are perceived once we cross the disturbances of the subtle body. Sukshma Sharir ka bandhan, tremendous bandhan hai. We have so much blockage inside our system in the subtle body. All of our family members are living inside of us. They're jumping and dancing inside our mind. Think about that. You have to put all that, throw it all out completely. Otherwise, you cannot get to the chakra system. Respect them, love them, serve them, and get them out of your mind. It's a harsh thing to say. There's no way to realize the Atma as long as any human being is alive inside our mind except Bhagwan and Guru. Or kuch nahi chahiye magaj mein. If some third person is there, that will become a bondage. You will be trapped over there. It is that kind of subtlety. If one object is even attached inside the mind, Sachin has attachment towards somebody in this world. Because, I like this person so much, sukh, dukh, dvand, sab chalta hai, aur Bhagwan ki bhi bhakti chal rahi hai, all that thing. That attachment will pull me away from the realization of the Atma. Itna level hai iska. Ye koi khel nahi hai. That is why the rebirth occurs. So to not have that, Bhagwan के विषय with God बहुत deep संबंध रखना और उनको and to pray to Paramatma, you please take care of me. All these attachments, I don't know, I cannot get rid of them. You bless me. I'm just your child. And if that bhavna is very, very pure, you don't have to worry about the subtle body. If we start to try to pull away all of the attachments, the problem is you try to get rid of one attachment, 10 new ones will open up. And the things that you are trying to pull away from, they will become stronger. इसीलिए एक स्वामीनारायण सत्संग में एक बहुत अद्भुत बात है कि भगवान कृपा साध्य है, साधन साध्य नहीं है. No sadhana leads to sakshatkar. That's another very important point. Sadhana is a preparation only for Guru Kripa, for Paramatma ki Kripa. It is not that I am going to reach God. Then that is the ego, that is me. If Sachin says, I am going to remove all the disturbances within my mind. No, you will not be able to do that. Nobody ever has been able to remove all of their disturbances within their mind. How many are there? Ananta hai wo. From Ananta Kal se, Ananta, from infinite lifetimes. That is why the Antakarana is given with Bhakti Bhav at the feet of God. When we offer a fruit, a flower, see what the Gita says, Patram, Pushpam, Phalam, right? When you offer, take an apple, take an orange or a leaf, one leaf. One leaf is enough for God realization. One leaf, think about that. But that bhavna that, Paramatma, I'm offering completely myself to you. That, what does it do? It takes us immediately out of the subtle body. It is not a matter of how much sadhana. In Swaminarayan Satsang, there was a Param Puja Pramukh Swami Maharaj. One of the big gurus, and now there's a big celebration going on. One of the points he used to say in his life It is not how well you arrange your words. It is how well you arrange your heart in prarthana that matters. The arrangement of the heart is the key. This is every guru has taught this. That is why they are great gurus. Not that they were big scholars and all that. They have arranged their bhavna in such a way that their antakarana is at the feet of Paramatma. And when that occurs, the problems of the subtle body all disappear. Then we can live with everybody in the sansar without any kind of bandhan, without any kind of a karmic link with people in this world. If we have a karmic link with the people in the world, we'll be stuck with them, lifetime after lifetime. Is that what we want? We have to ask ourselves. We have family members, we have children, grandchildren. Do we want to be born again and again in the same family to become the child of the grandchild? Think about that, to be born again and again and again and again. And this is what has been happening, and it happens over and over and over again like this. This is why the great sages, they descend in this world. All of them, Sant Gyaneshwara, Sant Tulsidas ji, Ramanujacharya, Shankaracharya ji, Bhagwan Swami Narayan, Bhagwan Sri Krishna, Bhagwan Ramchandra ji, everybody, they descend here to pull the Jivatma, to awaken the Jivatma, out of the cycle of birth and death, birth and death, birth and death. Gunatitanand Swami said, ye kya hai? He says, I know only one thing. Gunatitanand Swami was one of the big Paramahansas of Sajanand Swami. And there's a big temple in Junagadh, actually, in Junagadh Swaminarayan temple. That's one of the big six temples that were built at that time. So he said, I only know one thing. That is how to cure the disease of birth and death. Ye janam maran ka rog hai. Think about that. When somebody is born, we celebrate and everything, but that person is born because there's a disease. They're to be born again in somebody's family again, and all the terrible pain and suffering and the horrors of this world one has to go through again and again and again. Shankaracharya ji's whole point to stop this thing. Every true saint, they have only one mission, using multiple sadhanas and multiple approaches to take the Jivatma above the Ajna Chakra. And once the Ajna Chakra opens, there is no more rebirth. And that is the Jivan Mukti. Wo badi mukti. Otherwise, there's nothing new in this sansar. Look at this sansar. What do we see? The same problems. At the lower centers of the body, you've got, the lower centers of the body are where there is lower consciousness, lobe. The desire for more and more sense stimulation, more and more accumulation of objects. You see, that I want me gets stronger and stronger and stronger. More and more sense enjoyment, gratification, running. And so what is the result? Rebirth upon rebirth upon rebirth. And pain upon pain and suffering, pain. Or sukh is there. It is a tiny amount of sukh with a massive amount of pain. That's what it is. And when we realize this thing, I said, wait a minute. We want to be successful in the sansar, but successful in the sansar means we want to be able to navigate through it, go through it, without getting overrun by the massive problems in the sansar. And when the time comes for the body to go, we don't come back inside this world again. This is called moksha. This is called moksha and mukti. This is the basic idea. Now somebody will say, wait a minute, time out, hold on. What about this? What about the fact that we want to enjoy? We want to enjoy this world and all that. Yes, you can. Who is saying not to? But there is a certain limit. Beyond that certain limit, there is going to be tremendous amount of trouble. That is why in the Sanatana Dharma, we have 4 Purushartha, that's what they're called. Dharma, Artha, Kama and Moksha. 4 Purushartha. The artha and kama, artha meaning the success in the material world, kama meaning to fulfill desires. Yes, we want to get to the point where we can live in this world, fulfill our desires to a certain extent, because we have to live with the people in the world and the economy and everything else, which is all based on agnan. It is based on rag, dvesh, aham, mamatva. It is based on trying to grab power from somebody else. It is based on pain and suffering. The sansara is based on that. If somebody is trying to provide a service to somebody else because they need that they're suffering somewhere, they're lacking something somewhere. Somebody's pain is somebody's success. It's completely like that. A to Z. Almost 99% it is like that. Even in sports and things like that, somebody's victory is because somebody's defeat. Somebody's elation is because of somebody's degradation. This is all below Ajna Chakra. Ye sab sansar is below Ajna Chakra. And that is its nature. It's going to remain like that, not to be disturbed by that. We have to be able to live in it, extract the realization, and not get bothered by the sansar. Because the sansar is going to continue in cycles. Infinite cycles have gone and will continue to come. Leave it alone. There's nothing to be done to this sansar. The sansar is as it is. And it's not about improving anybody else's life. The fact is, we are the only person we can try to improve is ourselves. We can do seva. We do seva, but without entanglement. That is karma yoga. The point is, when Kundalini awakens, wisdom comes. Oh, you can see the nature. Then in that, love is there. Experiences of the sansara are there. Yes, is it true that there are higher level experiences in the sansara? Yes, there definitely are. Is it possible that there are people with these, multi-million-dollar jets and all that? Sure. Are there higher level experiences in the material world? Yes. Somebody might have a palace, like a 50-room home and all that, and may live like a king. Is it possible? Yes. Is that different from somebody living in a hut or a one-bedroom apartment? Yes, it is. That is the gradation in the sansar. But they are all within the three gunas of Maya. If you are wanting Maha Ananda, in Vachanamrut also Maharaj has written, F. Shankaracharya has written, those who are wanting Ananda without boundary can awaken from inside, and the Vaibhav, the Antarik Vaibhav awakens in such a way that wherever you are, whatever situation you are in, under any circumstance, there is the flood of Ananda. That is Amrutam. And the material things, don't have to worry about that. We said it before, Durga Devi. Om Aim Rim Klim Chamundai Viche. She takes care of that. We'll automatically take care of what is needed at that point, and then we can progress very well. This is the science of spirituality, and this is how we can so beautifully progress. It is a fantastic progression, living in this world, living with the people in this world, but at the same time, there is a greater and greater realization of the nature of this sansar. Not to hate the sansar, to realize that is its nature. It's been created like that with the three gunas of Maya. That there's a reason for that, because the Jivatma has to experience that. And then those who are awakened further can rise above it. Why does sansar exist? So we can rise above. Why does a ladder exist? So that we can go beyond the ladder. Somebody's climbing the ladder. They're not climbing the ladder to be stuck and trapped on the ladder. They're climbing the ladder to go to the rooftop. But if you have right foot on the rooftop, the left foot is on the ladder, you're still on the ladder. You have to take the left foot and put that on the rooftop. That rooftop is the Brahman. The ladder is this sansar. And ladder is this, it's climbing through this body. But if you're on the rooftop, you don't kick the ladder and throw it away. You don't do that. Leave it alone. Others can also climb. But the purpose of the ladder is not to be stuck on the ladder. The purpose of the ladder is to go beyond the ladder. Why is this Brahman there? To go beyond it into the Brahma Tattva. That's why the sansar is there. Sansar is not there to be trapped lifetime after lifetime after life. This Punarjanma is occurring again and again because there is deficiency in the Jivatma through its causal body. The Karana Sharira has not been burned away. The burning away of the Karana Sharira it occurs by Kundalini Shakti. The Kundalini awakens and it burns the Karana Sharira away completely. Just like a tremendous fire burns all the trees and things like that in the forest, right? Similarly, the jungle created by the causal body, the jungle of the mind, is completely burned away by the awakening of the Kundalini. And it awakens so beautifully in the tremendous way. And as it awakens, it burns away Ajnana. Ajnana timirandasya jnananjana shalakaya chakshurum militam mena tasmai Shri Guruve Namaha. This is the beauty of this thing. This is why Shankaracharya ji wrote Saundarya Lahari. Shankaracharya ji was very aware of this, that this great power awakens, and then from this great power, one is able to serve the sansar, not dislike anybody. And then that is how the moksha dvaram apavrutam prasangam majaram pashmatmanah kavayo viduhu sa eva sadhu shukruta moksha dvaram apavrutam. The doorway into moksha opens beautifully. This is the part. This is our small overview on what is Kundalini, its connection with the chakras, the importance of the Ajna Chakra, the Namah Shivaya mantra. When we pull all this together, we don't want to spend years and years going in 6 cycles. We want a direct way up and out of all of these difficulties. Meditating on Ajna Chakra directly is a straight way. Namah Shivaya mantra, straight way. Bhagwan Shankar ko, if you have Shivling or a Vigraha Swarup hai, to have the puja done, and ask him for help. Ask him to bless us. He will take us further. Namah Shivaya mantra is a master Maha mantra, and it will automatically bypass all the disturbances if we get established in the sadhana. We talked about how to do the sadhana. These are some thoughts for today. There's a lot more we can say. Chakra ki baat to bahut hi extensive hai. There's Charles Ledbetter has written a book called the Chakras. It's an extensive. They had a lot of mastery in this. They saw all these chakras and what the sounds are and what the mantras are. Itna hai, but you can get lost in that. So we don't want to be lost in that. We want to evolve beautifully, or most importantly, to have ananda, divine joy. This is our barometer. You feel the unblockage from inside, that means it's the right track. That is the barometer. It is called Sva Anubhav, that this sadhana is moving correctly. If there's a blockage somewhere, increase the sadhana, increase bhakti bhav, and hold on to real jnana, that things are temporary, things are changing, that the Atma Tattva belongs only to Paramatma and nobody else. These things come and go. So many millions of people are coming and going. Who belongs to who? Millions of life forms are coming and going. Every minute in this world, who belongs to who? Koi kisi ka nahi hai. This is all a big illusionary kind of thing, as Shankaracharya would say. Is there. Keep everything intact. Love everyone. Bless everyone. Keep the family very harmonious. Or family maybe Brahma Tattva hi hai. Bhagwan ka hi sab swarup hai. Get rid of the raga, dvesha, aham, mamatva. Throw all that out. And we interact with them in the right way as needed. Let them go in their path. Each jivatma is on their path. We have some sambandh with them, it's fine. The Kundalini awakens beautifully by the grace of God, and that energy is a blessing for everybody. Wo ek Maha Shakti hai. That is a prasada. So the big sages that are present today, they're blessing the whole world out of their karuna. They have realized great things. They want to bless the world, and we can all progress together in a very interconnected way. This is the power of Kundalini. Kundalini is available in every human being, and it is energy that can solidify our life. It is energy that can awaken us further into a state of pure joy, into ananda. This is the power of Kundalini awakening, and the fact that Bhagwan Shankar, the great goddess Parvati, the Shakti and Shiv, they combine together. They begin their combination in the Ajna Chakra, and from the Ajna Chakra, then the divine worlds open up. So there are lokas and worlds that are all accessible through here, and then from Ajna Chakra to Sahasrar, these are the transcendental worlds from Sahasrar into the infinite consciousness. That's a different discussion. We'll talk about it some other time. We'll do the closing prarthana now, and then we'll continue tomorrow at 8:30 in the morning.